Hey, good morning, Minecraft. This is Mr. Kassarian, and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play series. Which episode am I? Episode 8. Alright. So in the last episode that we left off in, we were getting ready to do some work with an endothermic pump. At which point I realized I was 10 minutes over my ending. How did I miss all this stuff? Oh my word. I am terrible at mining. I was probably playing in the car and the sun was hitting the computer. Alright. So, either that or someone turned on RetroGen. So, alright. We are going to get started on that endothermic pump. I'm coming back out of my mining caves. I should put some stairs in here, shouldn't I? That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Also save my poor space bar. Let's close that up, and I know I have an infinite water source right over here on my way out of the door. Yoink. Okay. Very, very good. Alright, so elevators. Elevators are pretty simple. You make them with ender pearls. Elevator. Wool, ender pearl. Cheap. You put it on the ground, you put one above it. You hit space to go up. Crouch to go down. Jump to go up. Crouch, jump, crouch, jump, crouch, jump, jump. Oh, wait. Oop, down. There we go. That's all you need to know, basically. That's it. Yep. Okay, so let's run over here now, shall we? Open this thing up. And let's look up the recipe for an endothermic pump. I'm missing. I have my 4-ended fused stone. Right, I got my Eye of Ender. No. Water bucket. Lava bucket. Iron pickaxe. Diamond. Endothermic pump. I didn't even get my buckets back. How nice of them. Alright, let's go over to our magic chest. Let's drop that off. Let's drop that off. It's really biological. That's that, and that's that. Miscellaneous crap. Netherrack goes in there. Also nether brick. Biological. This stuff goes away. That goes in there too. That goes in there. Magical stuff. That goes in there. Resort, please. Okay. Next thing we're going to need. Let's get ourselves 4 of you. A bunch of you. Like a wicked bunch of you. I got some cobble already. That's good. Oh, I need redstone. There we go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, like that. That, if you haven't guessed what I'm building yet, and that. Piston. 4 of them, in fact. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get some of those. Let's get some of those. And some of those. Awesome. Let's do that. That. Just enough glass and a piston. Boom. 4 of those. Awesome. Now let's get some sticks and some redstone torches. Because this endothermic pump needs to be powered. Fun. So let's take a trip back into the nether. Let's get some more cobblestone on us because I don't want to die out there. And let's take a look at where we're going to put this thing. My room is over here. I'm still getting used to actually having a house now. Versus a cave that I live in. Just looking awfully Spartan. It's basically just the entrance into my mining caves now. I need to put some stairs here. I really do. I do like the way that house is turning out, though. It's not bad. I like it so far. And the reason why... The reason why I put my nether portal all the way down here is simply because I don't want to have to deal with, what are those things called? Zombie pigmen. And this is a nice, contained, secure location in which to keep them. So thankfully, our nether spawn is pretty lava rich. By pretty lava rich... What the hell was just damaging me? Oh, those thorns. And by... Just die. Just... All of you die. I hate those fire bats. Darn Thumbcraft. Alright, so let's not tick off the bees this time on our way over here. Right, how do I get down there? Ooh, bother. Wait, I don't need to... What am I thinking? This also makes it a hell of a lot safer to come down here in the first place. So let's just build a bridge, shall we? Build that out, put that down. One, no. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I know I don't need to do this, but I have a pattern. I use it every single time I build one of these. So let's do that. Like that. And then let's get ourselves an ender tank. And plop that down on top. We'll stick that in there. And we should see our endothermic pump providing power. Look at that. Oh, really? 10 MJ. So it should take about 10 seconds. Less than that. Yeah, less than that once those things heat up, because they're each 1 MJ per second. Cool. That could always provide it with some better power. So those guys are going to pick up. And the cool thing is, the endothermic pump will actually chunk load itself. And what it'll do is, as it picks up the lava, it'll actually replace it. There. See? It picked up that piece of lava and replaced it with smooth stone. It makes it pretty much lag-free. It isn't going to create all the lava updates. Lava is one of the most destructive things you can do to your system, by the way. Lots of flowing lava. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad for your system. So let's go back through. I'll probably stay as a blaze until I get upstairs. Make sure we actually landed. Coming through any second now. Awesome. This also means beautiful. Close the door. Now let's transform ourselves back into something more normal. Like ourselves. Awesome. I have hands again. There we go. We're up here. Alright, so now that we have this lava, what are we going to do with it? Well, we need to transport it. And those of you who know Buildcraft are going, but, hey, Kess, you got a problem there, buddy. I'm going to say, what's my problem? And you're going to say, well, you don't have any cactus. I'm going to say, that's not a problem. Thermal expansion has changed. You can now get a type of fluiduct now, that is opaque and doesn't need glass, just lead. And this is what we're going to use to power, to move the lava over to our smeltery, which is over here. Alright, so let's drop. It should be right out here. Little to one side. There we go. Now we can put this in. That's my miner So I should be able just to cover that up like that. And we're going to stick our ender tank down. Now, it's not transferring yet. With the ender tank, it's kind of an interesting system. Because all you have to do is give this thing... Right now, it's in input mode. If I right-click it, it switches to output mode. Oh, you're not showing content, are you? Interesting. But is it filling up upstairs is the real question. Usually Waylo will display content. Okay. There's a... Oh, jeez. Alright, that was a pain in the rear end. No real damage, though. Okay, that's a nice thing. That's nice. Edged stone, edged stone. Alright, so we have some holes to fix. Oops. I need to finish upstairs. Because that's going to keep happening. Doesn't look like we have any... No, we do have some. It's just not showing up. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do, the very first thing, is we need to go get our Mighty Smelting Book. Should be in here. By Thruel Magon. Oh boy. And we need to make some aluminum brass. You can't just use stencils. Wooden stencils plus boiling hot metal. Yeah, not going to work. Instead, we need to use aluminum brass, made from 3 aluminum, and 1 copper. Now, it just happens that I have a fairly decent amount of aluminum in here. So, here, yes. 3 aluminum. So, when you put ore in, you actually get 2 ingots worth. It's an ore doubler all on its own. So right now I have 3 aluminum ore, but that's going to translate to 6 aluminum. So I'm going to need 2 copper to deal with that. So let me run back here so we can actually, deal with that. Now, to actually smelt things up in your smelter, you'll see why I needed access to the smeltery controller. All I need to do is shift-click it in. It's going to plop itself right in there. We can see through a little window that it's over there processing. Not too shabby. Now, we're going to need to make an ingot. A cast for an ingot. How would you do that? Well, if the cast is made of aluminum brass, think about the logic of it, right? How would you make a cast of something? Maybe put it in a tray and put the item you're trying to make a cast of in a tray and pour your mold material around it? Well, if that was your guess, you'd be entirely accurate. Oh, come on, buddy. Yes, I need to light up upstairs. I know. You're telling me I need to light up upstairs. That's fine. Just fine. So all we need to do is to take any ingot and right-click it into the casting table. Now, once this... there we go. Aluminum brass, 8 ingots. So now all we have to do is right-click on our seared faucet. And we have our first cast. Now, that's awesome. Let me actually get... Do I have any... Yes, I do. Let me pull this open. I don't know who's dying out there, but he's a pain in the rear end. Oh, he fell into the smeltery. Oh, okay. Let's get a chest and plop it down. Really? There we go. And we can put our ingot cast in there. Now, why are we doing this? Well, we're actually trying to make a specific item. Go away. I'm going to die. I'll be right back. Amazingly, I didn't die. I had 1 heart left, but I didn't die. I'm just going to go see if I have some food somewhere. We're going to eat these apples for right now. Then we're going to cook up some wheat and some barley. Whew, much better. Remind me, guys, to make a sword before I go, gallivanting off somewhere. Let's cook all this stuff up in here. Awesome. There we go. We have plenty of seared bricks now. Plenty. Sword, right. Looks like we're making it a peridot. Alright. That's fine. I love just being able to spawn a crafting grid on the ground. Thank you. The thing is that you can't batch things. You can't make batches of stuff in there, so you're kind of stuck. Alright, so the item we're making specifically is the hammer. And I'll show you why. Ooh, but we can't do it with this, can we? No, we cannot. We need another item called a tool forge. It's an upgraded version of the tool station. And to make it, we need to get ourselves a bunch of iron. We need 4 iron blocks. And 3 seared brick. And let's put that away. There we go. Where are all these monsters? Anyways, not important. So let's take our tool station, pick it up. You know, one of these days I should really actually, you know. So that goes there. 1, 2, 3. And this like so. Gets us our tool forge. Thud. A lot more stuff we can make. So we need 2 plates, a head, and a tough tool rod. Huh. Well, we know how this works. Right, guys? Right. There we go. So let's get ourselves... We already got ourselves a head pattern. We need a plate pattern. I don't think we actually need that. And a tough tool rod pattern. Not too shabby. We have the pickaxe head, the binding. Okay. So we've made those patterns. We're actually not going to work on that yet. I forgot that we need to do other stuff first. So let's get ourselves... If I just resort that. A stone pick head. That is not what I wanted. Well, at least it was stone and not something, you know, harder to get. Let's throw these out. If I was on a server, I'd just manufacture a crap load of stone pickaxes and just stick them at spawn. Alright, so we got our pickaxe head. We got our tool binding pattern. And a stone shard. Notice this says material cost 0.5. We put a whole piece of cobble in there, so it gave us a binding and then a little bit left over. Now, it just so happens that a tool rod is also 0.5, so that's perfect. So now we're going to throw the pickaxe head onto there. We'll get our pickaxe head pattern. Now we'll get our binding pattern. Our binding cast, excuse me. And now we'll just get our tool rod cast. And now we'll throw away the other crap. There we go. Now, I don't remember, but we'll find out in a second. How much more do I have in here? I got 4. All right. So let's see if we make one of these. Right? You can see it just stole 8. And one of these. Because I don't need that. I need that. I need this. Alright. I don't remember if it takes 8. No, I think it just takes 1. Yeah, I think it's just taking one. And a tough tool rod. Awesome. And we have enough space for one more. What is the last part we want to get ourselves? Let's get ourselves... that. That's going to be useful later on. Awesome. We could have also poured that last one into an ingot for future use, but there's no real reason to, in my opinion. Why not just make it? I don't know where these guys are. Awesome. Resort, please. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we can get started with everything else. But first, I'm going to go need to run out and grab some more resources. So I'll be right back. Found them! They were all in my basement. I don't know why, but they were all in my basement. Every last one of them. There we go. I'll be right back this time. Alright, so now I have some obsidian, some iron, and some aluminum. What am I doing with that, I wonder? It's time for more smelting. Yes, yes indeed. Alumite. 5 aluminum, 2 iron, 2 obsidian. So let's double that. So I've put 5 and 5 aluminum ore, 4 obsidian ore. Alright, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aluminum ore, 4 obsidian ore, and 4 iron ingots. Let's try to see if there's any cheap way to make obsidian. And that should melt down. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our pickaxe head pattern. I'm just going to throw it in there like that. Alright, so we got the aluminum melted. I have no idea how much alumite this will actually make. And hopefully I got the darn ratio right. Each of these obsidian, by the way, is considered an ore, I believe, and it's worth 2 ingots of obsidian. And yes, obsidian ingots are added by Tinker's Construct. So why don't I come back once this stuff is all melted down. Alright, so somehow I screwed up the mix. I have 4 molten obsidian and 6 ingots of alumite. I don't understand that. Okay. Alright, so we'll get our alumite pickaxe head. And we're not going for anything fancy today. We're going for just a straight alumite tool. And then we're going to get this. And then we're going to get a tool binding. Oh, shooter. Well, it's not going to kill me that I made an alumite tough rod by accident. Ugh. Oh well. There we go. That's what I wanted. And now we just need to get the rest of the crap out of there. I hear you, Mr. Enderman. So let's get out our ingot cast. I think we're going to have 1 alumite and a couple obsidian ingots coming out of there. I'll put one in my miner's backpack. Yep. Okay, 2 more ingots of obsidian. That'll actually make my life a little bit easier. Okay, that's done. Alright. So now we go over to our tool forge. We select our I need to fix that. We select a pickaxe pattern. We get the head, the binding, and the tool rod. Pickaxe, reinforced 2. Oh, you're kidding me. No, 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 no. Oh my word. Look at this, it's like a party. What the hell? I'll be right back, guys. And we're back. Well, we're back all right. Alright, so let's go downstairs and let's go back into the nether for something. What are we going back into the nether for, you're asking? We are going back into the nether for something called cobalt. Cobalt is very useful. It would help if I've transformed into a form I can use. Cobalt has one of the highest mining speeds of any material in... I believe it has the highest mining speed of any material in Tinker's Construct. It's also only found in the nether. And it can also be combined with this stuff called ardite to make manilium. Now, we're not going to be making manilium, because manilium is really better for weapons, in my opinion. That's cobalt right there. Let's see if I can do this. If you sit underneath it, you have a better chance of catching it. There we go. So I'm going to be flying around getting a whole bunch of this crap. That is the most substantial ash cloud I've ever encountered. So I'm going to be flying around, and I'll be back with you guys when I'm done. Alright, I believe we have now found enough cobalt. At least for what we want to do. So let's jump back to the overworld. And let's actually go visit our Thaumcraft room. Excuse me. Because we have some more stuff we need to make. But first, let's just fly up the stairs. Excuse me. Close the door. You know, I swear this area is well lit enough. I really do. Yeah, see? There's nowhere they're supposed to be able to spawn in here. Alright, sorry about that. I had a message that came in. There we go. And let's turn back into us. Okay, there's one spot they can spawn. 2 spots, and that's because they love torture too. God, go away. Alright, so we have plenty of cobalt. Let's chuck it all in there. There we go. Awesome. And now, the mining speed, I believe, comes from the head. Let's put the hammer head pattern in. We're going to make a hammer, by the way. Yes, that is what we are making. A hammer. I'll be right back once that stuff smelts down. Alright, so while that's cooking up, let's make a couple more somethings, shall we? Somethings are always useful, aren't they? Alright, let's go over here. Oh, I got chain armor from that. Okay. And let's get... I have iron in my inventory. Awesome. So let's go like that. We'll get ourselves a cauldron. And let's take this into our Thaumcrafting room. Quick stop off here to get my wand out. Cauldron. We'll put it down. I'm going to need another racket of flint and steel, aren't I? There we go. And in here. Oh. Already have some. Look at that. And a very full inventory. I'm actually really quite happy that I have as many gas tiers as I do, because there are some mods that need a few of them, and they're always really hard to find. Don't spawn in there. Alright, so let's get our netherrack down. Let's whack it with a flint and steel. And let's throw our cauldron on top. And you guys should remember what we do next. We turn it into a crucible. Crucible. It's been a while since I used a crucible. Alright, so then let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's patch the floor over. Because otherwise we'll have issues. And while we're down here, we may as well get a couple buckets of water to make an infinite water source. Because crucibles have not changed that much at all. Well, okay, the way you've used them has changed a little bit. You don't actually anymore use... You don't usually right-click on your wand to craft with a crucible. What you do instead... Thank you. Let's get some water in here. Thank you. There we go. What you do instead, as I run back here to find my Thaumonomicon... There we go. Take that out, put that back. We're going to make some thaumium. I think. Yes. So we have to have 4 Praecontio and then chuck an iron in there. That might be a little bit difficult, actually. Praecontio is not the easiest substance to locate in the world. If we had Darkcraft installed, I'd say let's use that, but we don't. Each of those is 1. Huh. Let's get out this, and if all else fails, we can use some of our earth shards and spread taint all throughout the atmosphere, which would be normal for us, wouldn't it? And let's get out of here our thermometer. First things first. 2. 1. So if I throw 4 blaze rods, let's do that. 4 and now we throw the iron in quickly, and we get our thaumium. Awesome. Now let's go look at our part builder. Now, I'm not certain, part builder. We need our tough tool rod. Three. We're going to make the tough tool rod out of thaumium. Nice. Okay. Base durability 400. Okay. Mining level obsidian. Remember that, guys. It's as good as mining with diamond. So let's get our tough thaumium tough tool rod out. And then we're going to need... Have you melted down yet? Yes. Okay. So let's get our hammerhead. And for the hammer, what did we need? And 2 plates. So let's put this in here. Okay, so we have a pretty good one moving already. And the thaumium... This is how you clean this up, by the way. There's extra crap in there. And it's now getting quite irritated with me. No, don't. Never mind. I'll clean that up off camera. What was I just doing? Right. And that thaumium is going to give me an extra modifier, but I'm curious if I can get an extra. Normally these things only have 3 modifiers. The thaumium will bump it up to 4. You can also use paper to bump it up another level. So I want to see, can I make a plate out of paper? And that took an unearthly amount of paper to do that with. But that's fine. So let's put that in. And now I'll pour another cobalt plate out. And that should still leave us a good amount of cobalt sitting in here. 14, in fact. So yoink. So let's see how this works out. This thaumium. That. And that. Speed 8. Is that what cobalt's supposed to have? Speed 8? Let me check. Where did my books go? Because I don't know how the plates really work. I think it's this book. $11. 8 is ardite. Huh. Alright, so it looks like we're only getting 1 extra modifier. We're going to make that other plate out of cobalt as well. But with the thaumium there, we still get... Thank you. That, please. And we'll call it the Smasher. Thaumic Reinforced 2. So I have 4 modifiers on it. If I did this, I'd have 5 modifiers on it. See? Thaumic Writable Reinforced. But that would significantly decrease my mining speed. So, let's make it. Pro Tinkerer. Alright. So let me show what this hammer does. Let me clean out my inventory and I'll meet you guys downstairs. So the best way to show you how this works is, well, to show it to you. So if I start here, let me shift this around a little bit. So I go 1, 2, 1, 2. Yup, it takes out a huge chunk of terrain. And it's pretty quick too. Now, as you can see, it does not work on dirt. Or gravel, or anything else that isn't explicitly stone. Okay? So you do have to watch out for that. But as you can see, it is absolutely amazing at digging nice passages deep into the earth. But where's the tinkering? What do you mean, where's the tinkering? We just saw it. You just made a tool out of like 3 different components. But what do you mean this isn't tinkering? There's more we can still do. Believe it or not, there is more we can still do. So why don't I do a little bit of mining down here? You know what? Let's just go right back up. I'll meet you guys right back upstairs, and I'll show you this now, because I wanna show you the difference while it's fresh in your brain. So I will be right back. Alright, so it may look like I have a bunch of random miscellaneous crap in my inventory, but I swear I don't. We're going to add some modifiers to this thing. The first one, the thing is, as you can tell, this thing does take damage. Not a lot, it has a huge amount of durability, but it does take damage. I want to be more like my drill. You know, rechargeable. All I have to do is throw a circuit and an RE battery on, and it becomes electric. Nice. And it's fast, but it's not super, super fast. Well, why don't we throw some redstone on it to increase its mining speed? Kind of a tedious process, I admit. But the results are well worth it. We could put another one on and use up another modifier, but I don't want to. Instead, let's go over here. And yes, I'm absolutely raiding my resources of random stuff. Actually, the last one we don't need to put on. We could put lapis on it to get a little bit of what's that called? To get a little bit of luck on there. But I really don't think we need it too much, to be honest with you. I don't think it's, you know, something we absolutely have to have on it. So let's charge this guy up and let's see how fast he goes now. Just throw him in here. He only stores about 1,000 EU. 10,000 EU. So about one battery's worth, which makes sense. But he will draw from my backpack. And I just have to keep recharging him instead of having to remake him, which, as you saw, is not the easiest process to go through in the world. You have to find the cobalt, you have to smelt down the cobalt, you have to do all this stuff, none of which I really am too keen on doing. Let's get some food, shall we? I'll probably set up a farm in between this episode and next. Wonder why that didn't keep processing. It should have. That was still iron gravel there. Maybe in the next episode we'll work on some automatic processing of materials, but I don't think that'll happen today. I was wondering why my FPS was down low. The F7 functionality, it's awesome, but it eats your processing power. There we go. Let's see how fast, when we get downstairs, we'll see how fast this thing actually works. I am quite ready to be impressed by it, to be honest with you. We can always increase the amount of mining speed it has by applying more and more and more redstone to it. Each time we do, each set would take up another modifier worth. But I still think it would be quite worth it. I mean, it's not, you know... Okay, that's significantly fast. If you notice, I'm just going straight forward. Because we can always turn around and pick up the rest of the stuff on our return trip. Okay, so when you do that and you derp, just put a piece of cobble back there. But the advantage is you're taking out a 3x3 chunk, right? So it's not like you're, you know, it significantly reduces the amount of tunnels you'll have to dig through. And in general, just it makes mining a heck of a lot faster. But of course, I still keep my drill on me, you know. Just to deal with dirt, cobble, dirt, gravel, and all that other crap. Now, the only downside to this is that you do end up, one, it absolutely eats your power pack. So we'll probably have to expand our power capabilities in the nearby future. Actually. Much better. So this seems like a good point for me to head back, pick up all the stuff I left behind in the walls and on the floors and the ceilings, and yeah, see what we're going to do next. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am actually running wicked far over time once again. So, I will see you guys in the next episode. This has been Mr. Kassarian. I promise the next episode I will try and keep things short. By the way, if you've messaged me anything in the past week or so, the week around Christmas, I have actually been away. This was all recorded before Christmas. So, I will probably be back by the time you guys are watching this. But just to let you know, in case you sent me something and I haven't responded, I was on vacation having a wonderful holiday. And I hope that you all had wonderful holidays as well. So, this has been Mr. Kassarian. I'm really appreciative of all you guys who watch me, and thanks for all your verbal support. And yeah, thank you very much, guys. As always, happy mining.